Prior to our preamble, good day, sir and buddies. I am Jupiter Badabutlig, a BS Cream 1 student from Black 2. And today, I'm going to discuss all about proper keyboarding. So this is how we're going to do. Proper keyboarding. First and foremost, you must have proper technique. This includes 7 proper keyboarding techniques. So we need to make sure that you identify the 7 proper keyboarding techniques and you employ this every time you use the keyboard. So good posture, body position, feet on the floor, fingers curved, fingers on the home row, quiet wrist and elbows, and eyes on copy. So let's go through each of these now. So good posture refers to whether you are sitting up tall. Are you leaning slightly forward in your chair? Are you facing toward your computer? If you're not doing one of these, or you're not doing one of these, then you're developing bad posture. And this can cause many serious health effects. So make sure that you're up tall, that you're leaning slightly forward and facing the computer. This will help you in the long run. Your body position is also important. The keyboard should be the edge of your table right. The body should be a handspan away from this keyboard. You should be centered at the B key or the middle of the space bar. By doing so, you'll have proper body position, and again, this will help you in the long run. Your feet on the floor is also important. Many don't consider this, but you want to have feet on the floor. You want to have them in a resting position, slightly balanced, slightly apart, right? And that feeling of balance so that you can maneuver in your chair if you need to, and so you're sitting properly and comfortably. Fingers curved refers to how comfortable your fingers are curved on the keyboard. Are your fingers upright and not leaning? Are your thumbs resting on the space bar? Make sure that you take into account your fingers and how they're positioned and how comfortable they are, because this is what you are using all the time and you want to make sure that it is a comfortable experience. Also, with your fingers, you need to make sure that they are resting on the home row. Yes, this is the row A through the comma K. We call this the home row because this is where your fingers should return to after every stroke. Rest your fingers on the F and the J key. By doing so, you'll be in proper keyboarding form and you'll benefit in the long run. Number 6 is all about quiet wrist and elbows. No, we're not talking about your wrist talking too loudly or making music. We're talking about them being level and relaxed. We want our wrist not resting on the keyboard or the table. This will develop carpal tunnel syndrome. This is something that will hurt. So you want your elbows resting naturally at your side and you want your shoulder relaxed. By doing this again, proper keyboard technique. And number 7, last but not the least, is your eyes and copy. Now this is what you're typing, right? You're copying something, you're typing it into your word processor, or you're copying something from another program. You want to make sure that your copy, whatever you're looking at, is in the right place. That's adjusted properly, that you can see it clearly. Right, you're looking at it and you don't have to look down on the case. Right, by doing this, you'll be more speedy. Proper placement of fingers on keyboard. As you can see, we're now looking at my keyboard. And the first thing you need to learn about typing is where the home located. And what the home keys are is each of the 4 fingers on each of your hands has a key that is always going to return to after you type a letter. So for your left hand, the home key is for pinky is A. For the ring finger, it's S. For the middle finger, it's D. And for the pointer finger, it's F. For your left hand, the home keys are semicolon for the pinky, L for the ring finger, K for the middle finger, and J for the pointer finger. So as you can see by looking at where my hands are on the keyboard, we now have easy access to all the keys in the keyboard. So every time you type a letter, you need to make sure that the finger returns to its home key. Now as you start typing and you get used to it, you might develop some shortcuts and maybe some bad habits. And you might even be able to anticipate where the next key is going to be. So you might not always completely return to this home area. But when you're learning, you definitely need to return to this home area. You're going to lose your place on the keyboard. So if I type the letter U with my pointer finger, I need to then return to J. If I type G with my pointer finger, I need to then return to F. Always back to the home keys. Now as you're learning to type, one of the best practices is to just start typing letters respectively because repetition creates memory. And not only in your brain, but your finger will start to remember where the things are, and then you won't even home to think about which key you're typing. It will just come out naturally. So what you want to do is, if you're practicing the letter U, you want to go J, U, J, J, U, J. Then you can maybe practice a different letter to kind of get your mind in a different place. And you could talk about F, R, F, F, R, F. Now before I go any further, I'd like to show you which fingers are responsible for which keys. So your pointer finger are going to be responsible for 6 main keys, and then each of your 6 fingers is going to be responsible for 3 primary keys. So for the left hand, the pinky is responsible for Q, A, and Z, ring finger W, S, X, middle finger E, D, C, and then pointer finger R, F, V, T, G, B. On the right side, your pinky finger is responsible for P, semicolon, slash, ring finger, OL, L, period, middle finger, IK, comma, then your pointer finger, U, J, M, Y, H, N. Now, it is important to understand, when you first start typing, your pointer finger is probably not going to be too tough to learn that one.